Episode 11, Man Who Thinks podcast. This is an episode on what I learned so far from studying house music. Okay, I just finished the episode on being contrarian, and like how my mind works, it means now that I can build off. So the concept of being contrarian is leading into house music because, well, by definition, and the opposite of rap music would be something a little bit more, how do we say, calm and less aggressive. Where I'm going with this is that studying house music for probably since I found, whenever the Burning Man set that Calle Music performed, probably, what is it, 2023? 22? I've been studying house music to the point where everything now going forward, like even putting it to words is just like a completely different way of life. Having had chosen to stop saying bad words, I've stopped cursing for about a year and 5 months now. Being intentionally mindful with just one thing like that, world of a difference. Because then that ultimately brought me into plant-based, also world of a difference. And all of this is just a microcosm of learning new things. What I've learned from studying house music is that tackling new and adventuring into the unknown, that's what I learned from house music. I remember sitting in a couch just much like this, Burning Man, just listening to that set, kind of music. In that adventure of a roller coaster, I was like, wow, this is such a emotional journey, very much reminiscent of my life at the time. Realizing, wow, I want to drive to this. And then realizing that this is just the way that my world works. Whenever I push play on something and then I get to a scenic part of the drive, it just seems that when I push play, it just so happened to somehow correlate with the fact that when I got to that scenic spot, there'd be a particular part of a particular song that would make my life super cinematic. And it happens so often. And again, this is part of me studying house music. It happens so often that whenever I take people on drives, there'd be like complete silence in the car, but more so on the side of like, wow, this is an experience of life that is so mind-boggling. And then after, like, we'd get to the burger place or the restaurant, and we'd get out of the car and they'd be like, hey, what song was that we were just playing in the car? Or like, hey, like that drive we just had, amazing. You see the sunset? And then showing me the photos. And it's remarkable because that influence on people's lives is like, that's what DJing is all about. That's the whole point of touching turntables, is being able to understand first yourself and what you would want to listen to, and then being able to take that imaginative feeling and then make it real on the decks. Studying house music has been the same. Now that I think about it, listen to this. So like 2 weeks ago or last week, the week before Memorial Week, I went out to a beach that I had previously gone to like a year before, but I only went there to take photos because I was like, man, there's a beach there. I've never been to that beach before. And I show up at this beach. I'm like, dang, this is a great beach. I love this beach. So then a full year later, I show up and it's it was the best body surfing experience I've ever had. And how does any of this matter with house music? Okay, so with house music, there's like a particular way to make a song. And what I've learned in house music is that the the journey to make a song is the same as a sine wave, which is the same as the dollar sign, which is the same as someone's life. Because the what is it, the crest or the peak, and then what is it, the the moment down. My favorite part of like a wave or anything is the in between. It's like, oh, the wave just left, and then there's the like the calm water, and then there's another wave coming. That's my favorite part of the wave. And why any of this is related to house music is because having had studied. Okay, so then last year I listened to well over 300 music sets, easy, a bunch of them on SoundCloud. And hats off to the folks over at Kai Music, because that collective is, to the day, still just as heel and toe with the music that they make. It's remarkable to see how they can take all of the music that they've made themselves and make a whole set out of it. And they understand that when they produce a record or an EP or an album, that it has so many layers and reasons for each song existing. And then when they go and they play the set, it just all harmonizes together, because regardless of whose label might have been on, or who else is on the track, or who else made it and then they remixed it, it has a particular purpose. And that's what I found on the Burning Man side, was like, man, these people, I instantly clicked with the storytelling. And I realized that if that's what they're doing on a set, they're sound selectors. So studying house music was more than just figuring out the engineering side and the A&R and the set production and the marketing and messaging. It was more than that. It was the story of how I, as a person, at that very moment, am capable of so much growth that, for a moment like this, for example, I just found Molly Nielsen. One of the songs goes, Amigo les otra vez. The song's called Happiness, with a Y. I was like, man, it happened again. So often I find myself in these cornerstones of life. The music that I listen to and the music that I discover goes hand in hand with the chapter of life that I'm in. Again, just the way that my life works. And having had chosen to study house music the way I have, being able to just latch on to a particular like progressive wave of, oh, this is a completely new artist, or oh, this is a completely new version of electronic music, or oh, that version of that percussion segment or that crescendo that I found in that one uh, uh, new disco song. I can actually resonate with that and then find that in some instrumental percussion based acoustic instrumental music made by, I don't even know where he's from, but like um, there's this guitarist from Europe, somewhere around that part of the world. Even the way where it was, oh, we're just gonna take Lemon Glow and then make it house music, or oh, we're gonna take a Bad Bunny song, make it house music. It's such a time to be alive for people that love listening to music. Because even then, studying house music, it's like this whole thing about I'm the director of my own life, and then have the creative outlet to then realize how house music relates to directing a score, or directing and having a score, or having theme songs and things like that. It's like it's so simple and it's so easy. I've been doing my best to keep these as close to like 10 minutes as possible. I can go on and on about this stuff. I'll wrap up by saying that, like the scatterbrain part of me, and just wants to keep going on tangents. And what I've learned recently about house music, and for the people that are 11 minutes 34 seconds into this, here's the gold nugget that I've learned recently. The gold nugget I've learned recently about house music is that to seriously captivate people, you have to be so focused in on that adventure you're going to take someone in that the crowd becomes completely irrelevant, and you're really just listening to your own music the way that you would want to listen to it, as if you were at that festival or at that concert or at that venue. Oftentimes music is that one tipping point where people, places, things, like every noun gets zeroed out and it's just a feeling. That's what I love about house music. So the gold nugget is this: the focus you have in zero to your life is also the same magnitude that you can go on the decks and focus in on a journey. Oftentimes the sets where I'm sitting there going like, wow, I don't know where I am, what I'm doing, but I need to Shazam this song, are often the sets that are so, it's the opposite of dense. It's like a poetic floating experience, so to say. It's as if you were physically on top of a cloud, like that dude from Mario Kart that holds the sign is like, make your U-turn, make your U-turn, or one lap to go, or third lap. And having had aimlessly discovered the DJs that I have, it is so awesome being alive right now. You can find any song ever just by aimlessly going and shuffling a playlist of DJ sets. Driving a car, completely new experience to me. I can listen to a DJ set. I don't have to worry about anything, really. All I have to do is realize, like, oh, this guy's in Barcelona. Great. Click, play. Oh, wow. That drive went by so fast. I just Shazammed 7 songs that I had previously never heard of before. And then on top of that, gold nugget number 2. I found out that you can put folders inside of albums in your Spotify. So what I've been doing is I made one whole DJ set that I would play from top to bottom. You just go and you click play. And then when you have the 12-second crossfade, everything is synced in to the point where the set is over an hour long. So I played it when we were in LA. I mean, make your life a movie, right? That, when I found that out, because then I had started making subfolders. So in my Spotify, I have my tools where it's like a woman's voice, a man's voice. I have a folder for the songs that I play that are called anthems. I have a folder for songs that I would play during a sunrise. I have another folder for music that I play during a sunset. So being able to understand that that's that, because then level two for me would be some way somehow I know that this already exists. Beats per minute, uh, intro and outros, languages, things like that. Being so creative and very adaptive with the sound, that's what house music has taught me. I listened to rap music my whole life, and having finally figured out that there's more than just rap music, and wow, the feeling I have from discovering a brand new house set or electronic artist, revolutionary, for real. There's no such thing as bad music taste, no such thing as bad music, because you can always say something good about something that's already been made. So that being said, take care. All the best.